Hey guys, Tails Agreed here and welcome to another Trails video. I mean, what else do you expect from this channel at this point? This is the, these characters should be fucking dead but they're not edition. Cause apparently they like doing that nowadays. So welcome to the characters should be dead but they're not. We're gonna be talking about some new characters that they revealed. Some new, some not so new. Actually, I think almost all these characters are not very new, so this is giving me a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and get started on these. So we're gonna start off with Scarlet Rosalia, which we saw a little bit from the trailer that was released pretty recently, so that's pretty cool. Couple of things I want to talk about with her, but honestly, I can't really speak too much about her because I haven't read Red Moon Rose, I'll admit, so you can't really expect me to say too much based on like what is told from that book, because I still need to read it, and I'm playing through Cold Steel right now on the PC to get a save file for CS2, so when I get to the end of that, I am going to be taking the time to actually read through the books. Probably going to do the same with Carnelia, because Carnelia is on there as well, so I need to read those, I know that. But concerning the information we got, Rosalia appears in front of Reen in various parts of the Empire. However, the friends and students who are with Reen are not aware of her presence. So she only appears in front of Reen, and it seems like people cannot even see her, besides Reen. There is a little small shot on the thing on the screen where it seems like Altina can see her. Maybe. That's a bit of a stretch though. It's a bit of a stretch. I mean, she's looking in her general direction. Could just be a reaction from Reen and she's like, what the fuck's going on? Or maybe she can see her. Who knows? They do specify that only Reen can see her though, so I'm not entirely sure. Could be possible because Altina and Milliam are a little different, so that's a thing. It seems certain that she is not an ordinary human. Big surprise there. She does not belong to any organization that has appeared so far. Big surprise. Though she has been seen with Thomas, so I guess you could make the assumption that she might be with the church, but and the relationship she has with people like the Azure Siegfried, which is another character we're fucking talking about in a minute, and Rutger Clausel, which another character we're gonna talk about in a minute, has yet to be revealed. However, they all have in common that they should not exist. This whole update is people who should not exist, but they do. For what reason? I have no goddamn clue. So incidentally, there is another person represented by a color who will appear in this work, which is stated to be black. This could be a couple things. We know Joshua has a black, has a color to him. This could also refer to Lo, I've heard. I don't know. There's a couple, like we know Shara has a color bounded with her. There's a couple characters that have colors bounded to them, so like we know Sarah has purple lightning. It's pretty much an example. Joshua has the black fang, so possibly. I've heard the popular thing, I don't know if it's the popular thing, but I know a lot of people are thinking it's Lo, which, considering everything that's happening right now, honestly not too surprising. It's gonna be weird though. There's a lot concerning this update that's like really weird, and it's gonna make this game so weird and different. So perhaps anyway, I might continue. Perhaps it is a person who has already appeared in previous works of the Kiseki series. So kind of letting you know that it might just be someone from previous games. Who knows? There's quite a few people with colors bound to their names in like a title or such. So, well, I guess we're gonna find out. A girl with long golden hair that can reach the floor and a tone of voice honed by time, sorry. She reveals her presence to Reen in various parts of the Empire, but he does not understand her purpose and reasons. Apparently she seemed to know that Reen is the Ashen Awakener. Sometimes when showing up in front of Reen, she will leave him with advice. It seems that there is something in common with the vampire that appears in Red Moon Rose, which was based on an incident that occurred in the Imperial capital 200 years ago, such as golden hair and crimson eyes. So, pretty much letting you know this is a person based off who was in the Red Moon Rose chapters in the book. So, and there's some quotes from her, but I'm not really going to go over them too much. So that's pretty much the big thing with Rosalia, is the person based off the Red Moon Rose. She was around for like 200 years. Well, 200 years ago she was around doing shit. I haven't read those books, so I can't really say exactly what with the incident that occurred 200 years ago, so I don't exactly know what that is. But I do plan to read that, I promise. I do want to make mention of her staff, though. Her staff is pretty important because it's shaped like a butterfly, which I think they showed off like a shot of a butterfly or something. I don't fully remember. But her staff is very reminiscent of Vita Clotilde's staff. I'll probably put up a shot of her in the video. But I've heard a theory, pretty reasonable theory, that the staff is just Vita's. It's just straight up is Vita's, and they took it. Because when she left at the end of CS2, she didn't take her staff with her, and it's also backed up by a thing that's coming up pretty soon. So, it's not a far stretch to say that's probably Vita's staff, considering it looks exactly like Vita's staff from CS2. So it might just be Vita's staff and they just took it. So who knows? That's one thing I did read. Beyond that, though, I don't know enough to really talk about her. I want to read Red Moon Rose now. I wasn't going to, and now I will. So that's something different. So we'll leave it at that. I can't say too much about her, but I do know that she's around. As are quite a few other people who shouldn't be around, so there you go. So let's move on to the biggest thing that I've been seeing everywhere is the Azure Siegfried. I should also mention, by the way, that this is gonna have some pretty big spoilers. For you probably should expect this because this is Cold Steel 3 news. I don't know why you would watch this if you haven't played Cold Steel 2 at least. But so Azure Siegfried is kind of a big deal, as I'm sure you know if you played CS2. It also pretty much explains the first promo art of the game, where it was Reen and then some figure in the background. I've heard back then there were some theories of that might be his ogre form, or I don't know, like another version of him. Just you can't just from the backs, like I don't know, like a front and back version of yourself kind of thing. So that was one theory I saw. That's totally debunked now, because Falcom's just like, here you go, here's Azure Siegfried. They just kind of tossed it at us and they were like, here you go. So it's probably just Crow. I do want to talk about this character in length, actually, because I don't believe this is Crow, to be honest. I believe it's his body. I don't believe it's him. But we'll talk about it. Azure Siegfried, a mysterious youth who hides his true face behind a mask. A mysterious youth using two handguns, wearing a blue coat on his entire body and hiding his true face behind a mask. It seems he belongs to a different organization than the Imperial Army, Ouroboros, and the Jager Corps, and he appears as an agent in some parts of the Empire, observing the movements and power of Thor's 2. His appearance is reminiscent of a person Reen's old classmates spent which he spent irreplaceable time together with. Sorry, the translation I'm reading is a little straight, so I need to like fluff it up. So what is the organization he belongs to? It seems like it's an organization that hasn't even been introduced yet, which at this point in the game, I don't know how that could be possible. So that's a little weird. Is a sphere floating in the near him a communication device with a built-in camera? It appears to move according to instructions of the organization he serves, observing the movement of Reen. So it seems like the thing that he's bringing along, the little sphere thing, is a camera. It might have a camera, and it seems like it does, and it's observing Reen specifically. So that's really all the major information for him. So I have some mixed feelings about this. Though I do feel like Falcom knows what they're doing, so I'm not going to worry too much, especially considering that this is not the first time this is a thing. If you've played Trails in the Sky 2nd chapter and 3rd chapter, similar things happen with Lo. And seeing it from the outside, I was like really worried, but it made a good amount of sense in context. Now, I don't really want them to diminish the value of what occurred at the end of CS2. I really don't want that. And that's the only thing I really worry about. So in that respect, I really feel like this isn't Crow. I do feel like it's his body, though. I don't see why it wouldn't be his body. If it is Crow, and just straight up Crow, how, why, and who are you working for? But yeah, I really don't feel like it is him, like straight up. I feel like that would kind of diminish what happened at the end of CS2. But I need context. I need to know what's going on in this game and what to see. This is very similar to Lo's situation in Trails in the Sky. So I'm not too surprised this is a thing, but to see it to see the artwork actually in front of me, I'm like, I don't know if I like this or not, but I have faith in Falcom that they can handle this pretty well. And it seems like they're going crazy with this game, so I'm just gonna be like, yeah, whatever, go nuts, because, you know, if you want to have some dead people in this game, you know, do whatever, because apparently there's some dead people in this game. There's quite a few, actually. I can name probably one with all my fingers. That wasn't a proper sentence. I can name probably 5. Honestly. And honestly, let me think. So there's Osborne. There's Crow. There's Rosalia. There's Arinhard. How the fuck do you say her name? I really don't know how to say her name. Arinhard. Arinhad. I don't know how to say her name. Sorry. And there's Rutger. So there's 5 who should be dead, and they're not. Excuse my pronunciation, though. I really don't know how to say her name, to be honest. But with that, though, that's really the thing I really wanted to mention with him. I'm kind of worried about this one, and especially because it feels like he's going to be a protagonist, or I'm sorry, an antagonist in this game. And especially concerning with Reen, we may just get our one-on-one, who knows. But I don't like diminishing the value of certain scenes in CS2. I worry about that. But considering this isn't a first in the series and it's been handled well before, I'm not too worried about it, but there's a little tinge of worry. So that's all I really have to say about him. It's cool, but we'll see where it goes. It's a little surprising that they just kind of shoved the artwork at us and was like, there you go, have fun. It also looks like he's going back to dual guns. So that's cool. Dual guns was always best grow, in my opinion. So, there you go. Beyond that, though, we move on to Vita Clotilde. Vita Clotilde is looking awesome, by the way. I just want to mention her outfit. Her outfit kind of like spawned a little thinking in my head, but I really doubt it. It was just kind of a spur thought. But I really like her design. Her design, honestly, and outside of Class 7, probably my favorite for change. It looks like she's using fans now, which is really cool. The outfit is just really nice. I really like it. So she's cool. She's really cool. I'm really excited to see what she does in this game, because she's going to be very important in this game. I mean, maybe even more important than CS2. But she was pretty important in CS2. So we'll see. So Vita Clotilde, a witch who serves as an Anguis of the society, scheming in the Empire. A witch who serves Ouroboros as a second Anguis, which we know already. So she entrusted Crow's body to Reen at the end of CS2. She left the capital after that. For some reason, she cut off contact with Ouroboros. It does not say she completely severed ties, so I don't think she left Ouroboros. It's more likely that she just is doing her own thing, because Ouroboros, you're allowed to do that. While searching for information on Osborne and the Black Workshop. So there you go. Oh yeah. So the existence and history of the witches is deeply involved in the events occurring in this work. This is super needed and very much welcome, because even though Emma explained a good bit, didn't really explain a whole lot, and I want to know more about the witches and all the history behind them and their place. And knowing more from Vita's side will be really nice. And I feel like that's going to play a big part in that in this game, and I'm really excited for that. So, although her loyalty to the Grandmaster has not changed, she seems to take an independent action within the Empire, distancing herself from... Can't even talk, I'm sorry. Distancing herself from Ouroboros for some purpose. By using the power of suggestion, even other members of Ouroboros, the Intelligence Division, and the RMP are unable to figure out her location. So you can go by that saying that she's just going solo. So she's doing her own thing. In this work, since the existence of the witches and their history are deeply involved in the events occurring in the Empire, the loose ends relating to Vita will be closed up. So we're going to be pretty much finding out the rest of what's going on with her. This includes the relationships she has with her family and Emma. Also, after being destroyed by Rufus, Grianos' existence has disappeared, so she doesn't have a familiar anymore. Grianos is her familiar, her bird. That's gone, because Rufus just kind of killed it. So she doesn't have a familiar anymore. She's just going solo. No Ouroboros members. There is a small shot in the picture that I'm showing you right now. If you look in the bottom left, that is probably the most surprising thing out of... Well, one of the most surprising things out of this entire thing. Out of this entire, like, character reveal. Is, she's standing next to Thomas. Who's, the second Dominion. And she's the second Anguis, and they're just hanging out. So, that's kind of weird, considering they're kind of... They shouldn't be hanging out. So I want to know the context of that encounter and why they're just kind of working together. This could work towards like her not being with Ouroboros at the moment, but still like seeing these two together is a little weird. I say a little, but it's very, very weird. So that picture alone like really like threw me off. I was just like, why are you two hanging out? So I'm very curious from that particular scene. I want to know why Thomas and Vita are just hanging out together. Also, with this whole design change with her and her weapon change, I had a small thought that maybe she could be playable. That also sounds really ridiculous considering she's one of the Anguis. Don't really think they would let us actually like have an Anguis be playable, but I don't know, I had a thought because her design looks so, I don't know, it looks more inviting, and I could see with the fans could be interesting. I think it's just because I played Trails in the Sky 3rd recently that like anyone can be a playable character if they want them to be. So I can maybe see it, but I'm probably just being crazy. So crazy theory, crazy theory, but maybe. So that's just me. Probably don't have to listen to it. But that's Vita. She's looking awesome. I'm really interested in seeing what's going to be happening with the witches and her and Emma and her and Thomas. Really weird. But that's really about it. So let's move on to the final person, which is Rutger Clausel. Alright, so Rutger Clausel, the Jager King, supposed to be dead and is resurrected. Yeah, why not? I mean, we got a couple other dead people who are just alive, so yeah, sure, why not? Just throw another one. Throw in another one. So having the title Jager King, he led to the Jager Corps Zephyr, or he led the Jager Corps Zephyr and was a foster parent for Fee, which we know quite a bit about that. Fee's mentioned it quite a few times, especially, I think even in CS1 she mentioned it. We only really got to know Zephyr through CS2. We did see them once in CS1, or maybe twice, but I know once in Legram they showed up, I believe. So Zephyr did mention to Fee, like, hey, we're gonna be bringing back the Jager King, don't worry about it, we're gonna be bringing the boss back, and that's always been like, okay, I guess, sure, why not? I know Fee was, I don't know, I kind of forgot if they directly said that to Fee. I think they did. And Fee was just like, okay, I don't know about that. It's just kind of weird. Obviously, like, not a thing that's not very possible. And it's just kind of happening. And Falcom's like, here's the artwork of this dead person. Remember he's dead? No, he's not. He's not really, actually. So he's a sharp and harsh sharp and harsh person who has the ability to deal with every battlefield. A few years ago, the Jager Corps Red Constellation and Zephyr were hired by conflicting clients. He engaged in battle with the enemy commander, which, if you played CS, and I think it's in CS1, where they tell this story, where Red Constellation and Zephyr got into a conflict together, and their bosses fought, and the Jager King ended up dying in the process. I think that battle went on for like a week or something. And it ended in mutual defeat, but he lost his life. I don't think the Red Constellation boss lost his life. Don't remember that part. But the members of Zephyr were scattered after that. So why did the man who lost his life on the battlefield appear in the Empire at this time? What was the real meaning of the phrase to bring the boss back that the members of Zephyr uttered during the Civil War? This mystery surrounds Rutger's existence. Rutger was active as a Jaeger all over the continent since he was young, so there is a possibility that he may have some information about Sarah during her days as a Northern Jaeger. So we're probably going to be getting more information on Sarah and her past. I don't see why they would specifically mention that if they weren't. So they Sarah and Rutger probably have a past together. Whether that would be like knowing her as a bracer or knowing her as a Jaeger, don't really know. But they obviously had some sort of conflict at one point. So he is working with Zeno and Leonidas. Forgot how to say this dude's name. It's been a while, I'm sorry. And their current goal is not clear. However, as they are Jaegers, it is safe to assume that they have been employed by someone. Could be really anyone. Could be Ouroboros. Don't think the noble faction. Nah. Well, not at this point. Yeah, they're probably employed by someone, but as to who, I don't really know. I have no clue. They were working with the noble faction in CS2, but at this point, that's probably not a thing. So I guess we're just gonna have to find out who they're working for. He does have contact with Shirley and the members of Red Constellation. Red Constellation, I believe, are a big thing in Crossbell. We do have a Shirley, I believe, is from Crossbell, and she's gonna be in this game. So I don't really know anything about her at all, which is why I really didn't talk about her all that much. But we do know the conflict between Zephyr and Red Constellation. Shirley's also one of the Ouroboros, I believe. So that's a thing also. But that's a whole other spiel. So beyond that, that's really about it for these characters. Gonna try and make this ending not too long, but I really just wanted to bring all this up. This is the dead characters that are not dead edition, so I hope you enjoyed this whole thing, because they don't even, I don't think Falcom even cares in this game. They're just like, yes, you know, just fucking do whatever. So a lot of dead people, just not dead. So I'm really interested to see pretty much everything in this part, because everything in this update was seems very plot heavy, very story heavy, very weird. Like, because we do know all these people shouldn't exist, really. Cutting out Vita from the conversation. Like, Rosalia, Azure Siegfried, and Rutger, those are all people that shouldn't be alive. So I don't know what to really expect from this one. It could be anything, really. I don't know how Zephyr got that dude alive. Guessing it has something to do with... God, I don't even know. This is a weird update because it's just dead people and they're like hanging out. Like, hey, can't wait for the Fee reunion, where she's like, pretty sure you're dead. I don't know how that reunion's gonna go. It's gonna be weird. But yeah, the big things are really Azure well, the really big thing is Azure Siegfried. Really want to know what his deal is, what Falcom's gonna do with him. Probably the thing I'm most worried about, but also the thing that could be the most exciting part of the game, really. So I guess we're just gonna have to see what happens. If you have some theories or whatever, just let me know in the comments. You can always comment down below, and we can talk about it, and we can see what the fuck is going on. And if you have any theories or things I missed out, you can let me know, because I know I miss things every now and then. And I'm still not completely like 100% versed on this series, and I haven't played the Crossbell game, so I know I'm missing a whole bit of this game. A whole bunch of this series. So that's a whole thing. But thank you for watching, as always. It's always fun to talk about these. So expect the Iron Blood update, because I'm sure that's coming pretty soon. And yeah, that's really about it. Let me know what you think about this whole update. Honestly, I want to know what people think about this update. Like, are you excited for this update? Are you a little worried? Because I'm a little half and half, especially with the Azure Siegfried thing. I don't want to diminish the value of certain events that occurred. It's different for people like Rutger or Rosalia, because you're told about these things, but especially with Rutger, you're told about that situation, but it's not like you've actually witnessed it. And I don't know, it's not I wouldn't count it as like an important event. Like, they just randomly brought back Rutger, I'd be like, yeah, okay, whatever. But for someone like Crow, I don't want that to be something that is just kind of like whatever. And I don't think they would make it a whatever thing. I don't want them to make what happened in CS2 just not matter, I guess. So that's my whole thing. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you feel about this update. I'm excited. I'm always excited, but this is that little Azure Siegfried thing, I was a little like, I don't know how, like, I'm a little half and half. So, we'll see how it goes. But let's see how long this video is. Oh, it's 30 minutes. How does this keep happening? I don't want them to be 30 minutes, they just kind of happen. So, thank you for those who actually watch through all these things. I know they're just kind of pictures and I'm rambling. It's kind of like a single-man podcast. So, I do appreciate it. I do know I didn't make a video for the soul dot information. I'm not gonna make that. I'm not gonna add it on in this video, but I might add it. I might throw it in at some point. I don't know. It's not a big deal. I'd rather talk about the characters than the gameplay. I think the story and the characters are more interesting to talk about than just gameplay segments. But I do know I haven't talked about that, so I do apologize. So, but yeah, yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna end it off. So, thank you for watching. Let me know how you feel about this update, and I will see you guys in the next update, which is probably going to be the Iron Bloods. So I guess we'll find out. So, thank you for watching. See you guys next time.